Behind the gripping cases and sharp dialogue of NCIS 2003 lies a haunting reality. Many of the actors who once brought its stories to life are no longer with us. The faces we grew to love, the voices that carried the weight of drama and loss now belong to history. But what became of them after the cameras stopped rolling, who faded quietly into memory, and who left us too soon? The truth is more tragic than the show ever revealed. David McCallum, the Scottish-born actor who became a beloved presence on NCIS as the eccentric yet wise Dr. Donald Ducky Mallard, was born on September 19, 1933 in Glasgow. When he first appeared in NCIS in 2003, he was 69 years old, already a veteran of film and television, with a career stretching back to the 1950s. His role as Ducky the medical examiner, with a sharp wit and gentle heart, cemented him as an icon of modern television, a character audiences grew to trust and admire over 2 decades. Before NCIS, McCallum was already a household name, rising to fame in the 1960s as Ilya Kuryakin in The Man from UNCLE, where his cool, enigmatic performance turned him into a global heartthrob. He also appeared in films like The Great Escape 1963 and A Night to Remember 1958, along with countless guest spots on television. Yet behind his professional success were personal struggles and tragedies. His first marriage to actress Jill Ireland ended painfully when she left him for Charles Bronson, a public and humiliating chapter in his life. Even more devastating was the loss of his adopted son Jason to a drug overdose in 1989. A wound McCallum carried with him for the rest of his life. Despite these sorrows, McCallum rebuilt his life. He married Catherine Carpenter in 1967, a marriage that lasted more than 5 decades, and together they raised 2 children. Financially, his long career and steady role on NCIS secured him an estimated net worth of about $15 million. He was not known for scandal or reckless spending, preferring a quiet stability. He lived comfortably in New York, balancing his acting career with passions for music writing and family. David McCallum passed away on September 25, 2023 at the age of 90 in New York City from natural causes. His death closed the final chapter of a career filled with triumph and resilience, but also shadowed by personal loss. Today he is remembered not only as Ducky the Heart of NCIS, but also as a man whose life reflected both the brilliance of fame and the weight of tragedy. Ralph Waite, the veteran actor best remembered on NCIS as Jackson Gibbs, the tough yet tender father of Leroy Jethro. Gibbs was born on June 26, 1928 in White Plains, New York. When he first appeared in NCIS in 2008, he was 80 years old, already a highly respected figure in American television, thanks to a long career that had made him a household name decades earlier. His performance as Jackson brought a rare emotional depth to the series, showing audiences the roots of Gibbs's character through a father marked by both love and regret. Long before, NCIS Waite rose to fame in the 1970s as John Walton Sr. in The Waltons, the Emmy-winning family drama that cemented him as one of TV's most beloved father figures. He also appeared in films such as Cool Hand, Luke 1967, and 5 Easy Pieces 1970, alongside countless television guest roles. Yet his life was not free of hardship. Waite battled alcoholism for years, a struggle that almost derailed both his career and his personal life. He suffered through 2 divorces, painful failures that left him searching for stability and purpose outside of Hollywood. Despite these challenges, Waite rebuilt himself with resilience. He found new meaning in acting, activism, and politics, running for Congress 3 times in California, though unsuccessfully. Financially, he was stable with an estimated net worth of around $2 million, far from extravagant, but enough to reflect a steady and hard-working career. Unlike many stars, he never lived a flashy Hollywood lifestyle. He kept close to his roots and lived a quieter life in California. Waite never remarried in his later years, though he had 3 daughters from his first marriage. Family remained important to him, even as loss and personal demons haunted him throughout his life. On February 13, 2014, Ralph Waite passed away at his home in Palm Desert, California, from natural causes at the age of 85. His death closed the curtain on a man who had brought warmth and dignity to American television. Today, he is remembered not only as Jackson Gibbs and John Walton, but also as an actor who turned pain and struggle into performances that touched millions. Elaine J. Taylor, the actress remembered on NCIS as Odette Malone. The mysterious CIA-linked figure who trained Eleanor Bishop and helped keep Ziva David's secrets was born in 1947. When she first appeared on NCIS in 2019, she was around 72 years old, already a familiar guest star in television and film. Her performance as Odette gave the show an enigmatic edge, portraying a woman who lived in the shadows, loyal yet secretive, adding intrigue to the arcs of two of the series' most important characters. Long before, NCIS Taylor had built a steady career, with appearances across American television. She showed her versatility with roles in shows like Murder. She wrote The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Beverly Hills, 90210, Grey's Anatomy, and Station 19. On the big screen, she appeared in films including The Wood, 1999, and Dr. Dolittle 2, 2001. Yet despite her talent, she never broke through to mainstream stardom, often typecast into smaller supporting roles. This limitation became a quiet frustration in her career, a reminder of how Hollywood's doors are not equally open for every actor. Taylor's personal life remained largely private. Public records do not reveal details of a spouse or children, and she never flaunted wealth or glamour. Financially, her estimated net worth was modest, around $1 million, reflecting a working actor's steady but unspectacular income. There were no major scandals tied to her name, but her career's struggles, the lack of leading roles, the uphill battle for recognition, were their own kind of tragedy in an industry that often overlooks strong character performers. On August 28, 2022, Elaine J. Taylor passed away at the age of 74. The cause of death was not widely publicized, leaving her passing as quiet as much of her career had been. Today, she is remembered not only as Odette Malone, the shadowy mentor of NCIS, but also as a dedicated actress whose life reflected both the resilience and the heartbreak of a performer who gave much to her craft, yet never fully received the spotlight she deserved. Gregory Itzin, the accomplished character actor, remembered on NCIS for his role as Director Charlie in the early seasons, was born on April 20, 1948 in Washington, D.C. When he first appeared on NCIS in 2003, he was 55 years old, already a seasoned performer with decades of stage and screen work behind him. His portrayal of Charlie was brief but memorable, showing his natural ability to bring authority and nuance to even smaller roles, a skill that made him one of television's most dependable supporting actors. Long before NCIS, Itzin had made a name for himself on both stage and television. He was a fixture in regional theater, earning acclaim for Shakespearean performances, and later rose to wider fame on TV as President Charles Logan in 24, a role that earned him Emmy nominations and established him as a master of playing morally complex figures. His film credits included Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, 1998, The Fabulous Baker, Boys 1989, and Law-Abiding Citizen 2009, alongside dozens of guest appearances on series like Friends, Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, and The Mentalist. Despite this wide range, he often found himself typecast as bureaucrats, politicians, or authority figures, an ironic frustration for an actor with deep theatrical roots and far greater range than Hollywood allowed him to show. Off-screen, Itzin's life was not without challenges. He battled health issues in his later years, enduring multiple surgeries and complications that at times put his career on hold. Financially, his work left him comfortable, but not extravagant, with an estimated net worth of around $5 million. He married Judy Itzin, and together they raised 2 children, including his son, Wilka Itzin, who also pursued acting. Unlike many in Hollywood, he lived a relatively quiet personal life, without scandal or public controversy, though his ongoing health struggles were a private burden that shadowed his later years. On July 8, 2022, Gregory Itzin died at the age of 74 due to complications from emergency surgery. His passing was felt deeply across the acting community, where colleagues remembered him as both a consummate professional and a kind, generous soul. Today, he is remembered not only for NCIS and 24, but also as an actor who gave every role, large or small, the full weight of his talent, leaving behind a legacy of performances that Peter Jason was born on July 22, 1944 in Hollywood, California, and by the time he joined NCIS in 2003, he was 59 years old. On the show, he appeared in guest roles that played to his strength as a reliable character actor, bringing authority and presence to the screen even in limited scenes. His contributions fit seamlessly into the series' world of agent suspects and officials, showcasing his ability to make a lasting impression without needing center stage. His career, however, stretches far beyond NCIS. Jason trained at Carnegie Mellon University and went on to build a filmography that spanned over 5 decades. He became known for his frequent collaborations with director John Carpenter, appearing in cult classics like They Live, 1988, Prince of Darkness, 1987, and In the Mouth of Madness, 1994. He also took roles in major films such as Jurassic World, 2015 Deadwood HBO series, and Escape from LA, 1996. On television, his credits run deep with appearances in everything from Murder, She Wrote to 6 Feet Under, demonstrating the breadth of his adaptability. But despite his steady success, Jason's path was not without obstacles. He often found himself pigeonholed into secondary roles, the dependable sheriff, the military man, the businessman, rather than the complex leads he longed to play. This typecasting, while keeping him employed, was its own professional disappointment, a reminder of Hollywood's tendency to limit actors to a single mold. Away from the screen, Jason built a private, stable life. He married Eileen Dietz, and while not much about their family life is widely publicized, he managed to avoid the tabloid scandals that often follow Hollywood veterans. His financial standing has been solid, with an estimated net worth of about $1 on $2 million, enough to reflect a hardworking but not extravagant career. Now in his late 70s, Peter Jason continues to work in both television and film, embodying the resilience of a lifelong actor who never gave up on his craft. His life story is one of persistence, not marked by glamour or headline fame, but by a steady devotion to acting that has made him one of the most recognizable faces in American film and television. Annie Wersching, best remembered by NCIS fans for her role as Special Agent Renee Walker in the wider CBS procedural universe, was born on March 28, 1977 in St. Louis, Missouri. When she appeared on NCIS in 2006, she was 29 years old, still early in her career, but already showing the talent and intensity that would make her a familiar face on television. On the show, her guest appearance added grit and realism, but it was only the beginning of what would become a long string of strong roles across some of TV's most popular dramas. Her breakout came not on NCIS, but in 24, where she starred as FBI agent Renee Walker alongside Kiefer Sutherland from 2009 to 2010. The role cemented her as a tough, no-nonsense presence, earning her a loyal fan base. She continued building an impressive resume, with appearances in Bosch, The Vampire Diaries, and Timeless. In 2022, she took on the chilling role of the Borg Queen in Star Trek Picard, a performance that reminded audiences of her extraordinary range. She also contributed to the world of video games, voicing and providing motion capture for Tess in The Last of Us, a character that later became legendary when the game was adapted for television. Yet Annie's journey was not without its tragedies. In 2020, she was diagnosed with cancer, a battle she fought quietly while continuing to work. The illness marked a cruel twist in a life and career that seemed only to be reaching new heights. Despite her health struggles, she remained dedicated to her craft, continuing to act even as her body weakened. Financially, Annie Wersching built a comfortable life with an estimated net worth of around $5 million, largely from her steady television work. She married actor and comedian Stephen Full in 2009, and together they had 3 sons. Family became her anchor, and much of her later life was spent balancing the demands of acting with raising her children. On January 29, 2023, Annie Wersching passed away at the age of 45 after her battle with cancer. Her death shocked fans and colleagues alike, cutting short a career that had promised so much more. Today she is remembered not only for her iconic roles, but also for her courage, professionalism, and the lasting warmth she brought to those who knew her. Her legacy is one of strength, talent, and resilience in the face of heartbreak. Peter Navy Tuiasosopo. The Samoan-American actor who appeared on NCIS in guest roles that highlighted his commanding physical presence was born on December 22, 1963 in San Pedro, California. When he first appeared on NCIS in the mid-2000s, he was in his early 40s, already recognized for portraying tough, intimidating characters who carried both strength and gravitas. His performances on the show added authenticity to law enforcement and military storylines, reflecting the type of role he has often been trusted to embody. Before NCIS, Tuiasosopo had already established himself in Hollywood. Audiences first widely noticed him in Necessary Roughness, 1991, where his comedic timing and physicality made him memorable. He also made an impression in Street Fighter 1994 as E. Honda, the sumo wrestler, a role that tied him forever to a cult video game adaptation. Over the years, he has appeared in numerous television series, including The Rockford Files, the John Larroquette show The District, and later, The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, 2013, continuing to prove his reliability as a supporting actor. Despite steady work, his career also carried frustrations. Hollywood often cast him in roles that leaned on stereotypes of his size and heritage, limiting his opportunities to display a broader range of talent. This typecasting, though it kept him visible, was a quiet professional disappointment, a reminder of how many minority actors are boxed into narrow roles. Financially, Tuiasosopo has maintained a modest but stable career, with an estimated net worth of around $1 million. His personal life has been kept mostly out of the public eye, avoiding the scandals that often shadow Hollywood careers. He has not widely publicized details about marriage, children, or property, preferring privacy over publicity. Now in his early 60s, Peter Navy Tuiasosopo continues to work occasionally in film and television, his face recognizable to fans of both action films and cult classics. His story is one of persistence, an actor who carved out a career despite limitations, remembered for his strength, humor, and dedication to his craft. Even if Hollywood never fully gave him the spotlight his talent deserved. Keith Freeman, the American actor best remembered for his disturbing role as Benjamin Frank, a cold-blooded killer on NCIS 2003, was born on June 23, 1980 in Eloso, Oklahoma. When he first appeared on NCIS in the early 2000s, he was in his early 20s, already displaying an intensity and edge that made his performance stand out among the show's many guest stars. His chilling presence left a mark on viewers, showcasing his ability to dive into dark and complex characters. Before NCIS, Freeman had begun carving out a career in both film and television. He was notably recognized for his recurring role as Howard Epps, the serial killer on Bones, a part that cemented him as a skilled actor, capable of portraying layered villains. His credits also included appearances in ER True Calling, Torchwood, Miracle Day, and films such as Skateland and Dark Was the Night. These roles highlighted his range, though Hollywood often leaned on his ability to play antagonists, a typecasting that, while memorable, limited his opportunities for broader recognition. Despite these achievements, Freeman's career was marked by frustrations and struggles. While he worked consistently, he never fully broke into leading man status, a disappointment that weighed on him professionally. His estimated net worth at the time of his death ranged between $500 and $1 million, reflecting steady work, but not the level of wealth associated with Hollywood stardom. His personal life was largely private. He was never married, had no children, and avoided public scandals. Yet behind the scenes, he faced inner battles, and his sudden passing later revealed the darker side of these struggles. On November 14, 2021, Keith Freeman died at the age of 41. The cause of death was linked to a combination of drugs and alcohol, including fentanyl, cocaine, and oxycodone, a tragic end that underscored the pressures he faced. He left behind no public legacy of family or property, but his work remains a reminder of his talent and potential. His life was one of promise, marred by typecasting and personal demons, and his early death turned his story into a Hollywood tragedy. An actor who gave unforgettable performances, but never lived long enough to reach the full heights of his career. Miguel Ferrer, the American actor with a commanding voice and screen presence, who appeared on NCIS Los Angeles in a recurring role as Owen Granger, was born on February 7, 1955 in Santa Monica, California. By the time he joined the NCIS franchise in 2012, he was 57 already, a veteran performer recognized for decades of work in film and television. His portrayal of Granger the hard-edged assistant director added grit and realism to the series and quickly made him a fan favorite. Farrer's career stretched far beyond NCIS. He broke through in the 1980s with roles in RoboCop, 1987 as the slick Bob Morton, and in David Lynch's Twin Peaks, where he became memorable as FBI agent Albert Rosenfield. He also lent his distinctive voice to animation and video games, including Mulan Iron Man, the animated series, and Justice League. His ability to shift between drama, action, and voice work made him one of Hollywood's most versatile character actors. Yet behind the success, Farrer faced difficulties. He often spoke about being typecast as villains or authority figures, a limitation that narrowed the range of opportunities despite his talent. Still, he maintained steady work, building an estimated net worth of around $4 million. His personal life included 2 marriages and 3 children. Though his private struggles rarely reached the tabloids, he preferred keeping family matters away from the spotlight. In 2017, tragedy struck. Miguel Ferrer died on January 19, 2017 from throat cancer at the age of 61. His passing came while he was still actively working on NCIS Los Angeles, leaving fans and colleagues stunned. Remembered for his dry wit intensity and unmistakable voice, Farrer's legacy is that of an actor who never needed to be the lead to leave a lasting impression. His death closed the curtain on a career that shaped television and film for more than 3 decades. René Auberjonois, the American actor with a distinctive voice and presence, who appeared on NCIS 2003 in guest roles that showcased his authority and sophistication, was born on June 1, 1940 in New York City. When he first appeared on NCIS in the 2000s, he was already in his 60s, a veteran performer whose career stretched across theater, film, and television. His guest turn on the series carried the weight of decades of experience, adding credibility to the procedural drama. Before joining NCIS, Auberjonois had already built a remarkable resume. He rose to fame with his Tony-winning performance in Coco on Broadway and made his mark in Hollywood with Robert Altman's MASH 1970. To television audiences, he became iconic as Clayton Endicott III on Benson Odo, the shape-shifting constable on Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and Paul Lewiston on Boston Legal. His voice was also instantly recognizable, featured in animated films like The Little Mermaid, as Chef Louis, and countless other projects. His versatility allowed him to move seamlessly between comedy drama, sci-fi, and stage, making him one of the most respected character actors of his generation. Despite his success, Auberjonois' career was not without frustration. Like many character actors, he was sometimes overshadowed by leading stars, and Hollywood often overlooked his depth by limiting him to supporting roles. Yet his persistence and artistry kept him relevant for over 5 decades, a testament to his adaptability. His financial success reflected this steady career, with an estimated net worth of around $5 million at the time of his death. In his personal life, Auberjonois avoided scandal and maintained stability, a rarity in Hollywood. He married Judith Mihaly in 1963, and together they raised 2 children. Unlike many of his peers, he steered clear of public controversies, focusing instead on his craft and family. Tragically, René Auberjonois died on December 8, 2019 from metastatic lung cancer at the age of 79. His passing was mourned by fans across generations, from Broadway enthusiasts to Trekkies and television audiences. He left behind a legacy of range, dedication, and artistry, remembered as a consummate performer who elevated every project he touched. His story is one of achievement and quiet dignity. A career filled with iconic roles and a life lived without scandal, ending in the respect and admiration of colleagues and audiences alike. Ravil Izhanov, the Russian-born actor known for his powerful screen presence, who appeared on NCIS 2003 in memorable guest roles, was born on August 20, 1962 in Voskresensk, Moscow Oblast, Russia. When he first appeared on NCIS in the 2000s, he was in his 40s, already established as a go-to actor for intense and authoritative characters, often cast in roles tied to military, political, or criminal storylines. His appearances gave the series an authentic edge, as he often brought depth to figures rooted in international intrigue. Before NCIS, Isyanov had built an impressive career that spanned both Russian and American productions. Trained at the Moscow Art Theater School, he went on to work in theater and film across Europe before settling in the United States. He appeared in movies such as GoldenEye 1995, K-19 The Widowmaker 2002, and Transformers Dark of the Moon 2011. On television, he was best known for recurring roles in the Americans Agents of SHIELD, GLOW and SEAL Team, where his commanding style and accent made him unforgettable in villainous and complex parts. Despite his consistent work, his career was not without its challenges. In Hollywood, he was often typecast as the Russian heavy or adversary, a frustration for an actor with wide-ranging talent. Though this typecasting gave him steady employment, it limited the diversity of roles he could explore. Financially, he maintained a modest success, with an estimated net worth of around $2 million at the peak of his career. In his personal life, Isyanov lived quietly. He was married and kept details about his family, private, avoiding the scandals and public chaos that often surrounded others in the industry. Friends described him as dedicated to his craft and deeply respected by colleagues. Tragically, Ravil Isyanov died on September 29, 2021, after a long battle with cancer. He was 59 years old. His passing cut short a career that had consistently delivered strong, memorable performances. He left behind a reputation as a consummate character actor, one who brought gravitas and authenticity to every role, even if Hollywood never gave him the full spotlight. His story is remembered as one of resilience and artistry, a life dedicated to performance ended too soon by illness. Sam Sarpong, the British-born actor, model, and musician who made a guest appearance on NCIS 2003, was born on December 19, 1974 in London, England. When he appeared on NCIS in the 2000s, he was in his early 30s, already recognized as a multi-talented performer who brought charisma and energy to every role. His guest spots on the series reflected his versatility, showing that he could move beyond modeling and music into serious acting work. Before NCIS, Sarpong had built a diverse career. He rose to prominence as a fashion model, working with major brands like Tommy Hilfiger, and appeared in countless campaigns and runway shows around the world. On television, he became known as a co-host of MTV's Yo Mama alongside Wilmer Valderrama, a role that gave him international visibility. He also acted in projects such as Bones' Everybody Hates Chris Veronica Mars and films like Love Don't Cost a Thing, 2003. His natural charm made him a familiar face, and he seemed poised for even greater success. But behind the bright lights, his journey carried deep struggles. Despite his achievements, Sarpong faced challenges in sustaining a long-term acting career in Hollywood, often caught between his modeling fame and the desire to be taken seriously as an actor. Financial pressures and the weight of expectations added to his personal battles. His estimated net worth at the time of his death was modest, around $1 million, reflecting his years of work, but not the full potential of his talent. In his personal life, Sarpong avoided major public scandals and kept his relationships private. He was never married and had no children. Friends described him as warm, supportive, and deeply committed to his craft, but also someone quietly fighting inner demons that few realized. Tragically, on October 26, 2015, Sam Sarpong died by suicide in Pasadena, California, at the age of 40. His death shocked fans and colleagues who remembered him as a vibrant personality, who seemed to embody confidence and energy. The reality of his passing exposed the hidden pain he carried, turning his life story into a heartbreaking reminder of how success does not always shield someone from personal struggles. Today, he is remembered for his groundbreaking work as a model and entertainer, a man who broke barriers but left the world far too soon. Chaney Clay, the American actor who appeared on NCIS 2003 in a guest role that reflected his talent for bringing intensity to the screen, was born on August 20th, 1972 in Manassas, Virginia. When he appeared on NCIS in the mid-2000s, he was in his early 30s, a young actor already making a name for himself in Hollywood, with a mix of film and television credits. His turn on the series showed his ability to embody complex characters even in limited screen time. Before NCIS, Clay had caught attention in Legally Blonde 2001, where his comedic presence stood out, and in the horror film Darkness Falls 2003, which gave him a starring role and introduced him to a wider audience. He also appeared in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, The Shield, and other television projects, carving out a path as a versatile performer. Despite these achievements, his career faced frustrations, as Hollywood often struggled to give him consistent leading roles, leaving his trajectory unsettled. Financially, Clay maintained a modest standing, with an estimated net worth of around $500,000 at the time of his death. He kept his personal life private, with little public information about relationships, marriage, or family. Unlike many in Hollywood, he avoided scandal, but his life was cut tragically short. On July 24, 2007, Chaney Clay died in Los Angeles from complications related to sleep apnea at just 34 years old. His death shocked those who knew him, ending a career that had shown great promise. Today, he is remembered as a talented actor whose life and work ended far too soon, leaving behind a sense of what could have been had he lived longer. Michael Gilden, the American actor who appeared on NCIS 2003 in a memorable guest role, was born on September 22, 1962 in Los Angeles, California. When he appeared on the series in the mid-2000s, he was in his early 40s, already known in Hollywood for his work as both an actor and stunt performer. His presence on the show highlighted his versatility and determination in an industry that often overlooked performers of smaller stature. Before NCIS, Gilden built a steady career in film and television. He appeared in CSI Crime Scene Investigation, Charmed, and NCIS, while also working extensively as a stunt double in major productions. Fans may also recognize him from Star Wars Return of the Jedi, 1983, where he played an Ewok, as well as appearances in The Rundown and Pulp Fiction. Though rarely in the spotlight, his dedication to his craft earned him steady work across genres. Despite his successes, Gilden's career was marked by challenges. Standing at 4 feet 8 inches due to dwarfism, he was often typecast or relegated to background roles, a limitation that frustrated him as an actor capable of more. Financially, he maintained a modest living with an estimated net worth of around $500,000. In his personal life, he found happiness with actress Meredith Eaton, whom he married in 2001. Their relationship was seen as a bright spot in an otherwise difficult industry. Tragically, Michael Gilden died by suicide on December 5, 2006 in Los Angeles at the age of 44. His sudden passing shocked colleagues and friends, cutting short a life and career defined by persistence and quiet strength. Today, he is remembered not only for the roles he brought to life, but also for the barriers he helped break in Hollywood for actors with disabilities. Which character from NCIS 2003 holds a special place in your heart? How does it make you feel knowing that the beloved cast members are no longer with us? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Feel free to share them in the comments below. If you've been enjoying this content, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thank you for watching.